Welcome to Independence Nation on the Light of Life Network. It is often said, on the precipice of extinction, man finds the will to change, or what others would call survival. Hope mixed with miraculous situations creates opportunity for survival. Today we'll take a look at the human will to survive, past, present, and future, and exactly how it may relate to you, your current situation, what you're going through. Because if one man can do it, another man can do it. And so we take a look at today what I like to call the human will to survive. Now, we must first take a look at this definition of the human will. And of this definition, we find that the human will is the faculty of the human mind by which we decide or conceive of ourselves as deciding upon and initiating action. That's right. Even in our subconscious state, you'll find that we decide, we make a decision of this human will to survive. The will to live itself is a psychological force to fight for survival, seen as an important and active process of consciousness and unconscious reasoning. Once again, like I said, even in an unconscious state, we can find out that we have a will to survive, as we're going to take a look at a story here in a few minutes of a person in an unconscious state having the human will to survive. Now, this occurs particularly when this human will to survive occurs particularly when someone's life is threatened by a serious situation. We find a serious situation throughout history, and as you can see depicted by the picture, as it relates to those who went through the troubles of Nazi Germany. But the idea in which someone who is on the threshold of death may consciously or unconsciously try to stay alive through the belief that they have a reason or some sort of reason or something to live for is in essence a miracle itself. Yes, and when we take a look at this miracle, we find that it is an extraordinary event manifesting divine intervention in human affairs that drives the human intention. Yes, and we find that these miracles often occur when that human will, that hope, is in the human to survive. Speaking of miracles, we must take a look at this situation here. In June of 2008, a 2-year-old toddler in Sacramento, California, survived for nearly a week after his mother passed away in their house, and this toddler survived by eating cat food. That's right. Officers responded to a call, it says here, from a Child Protective Services social worker who was checking on the chronically ill mother. So to give a more view of this picture of this story, the mother was chronically ill. She didn't, there was no drugs or alcohol or things in the situation involved. She was chronically ill. She's trying to take care of her 2-year-old toddler, and she dies. And here, the toddler survives a week by eating cat food, that which is an arm's length to eat. The toddler eats cat food and has a will to survive and makes it. They found that she had died about 6 days earlier, and that the son ate whatever he could find within his short arm's reach. Officers that responded to the incident said that this is nothing more than a miracle. Let's take a look at another situation that is well documented that we know of. A man by the name of Mitsutaka Uchikashi. There's the amazing story of the Japanese hiker who essentially hibernated for 24 days, something humans aren't supposed to be able to do. That's right, people. When you have a human will to survive, there is hope, and hope mixed with the miraculous, and we see that this man was able to hibernate for 24 days. It says here that Mitsutaka tripped and was knocked unconscious. Now this was during his hiking trip. The last thing he remembers is lying down in the grassy area and falling asleep. He was found 24 days later with barely a pulse and organs that had almost completely shut down. The doctors were amazed to find that he suffered no brain damage. They anticipated that he'd fully recover from his ordeal. There's no scientific explanation for how long he was able to survive without food or water. And as many of you may already know, the human body's not supposed to be able to survive without food or water for more than 3 to 5 days because of being dehydrated. But yet, Mitsutaka was able to survive, and might I add, even in an unconscious state, he was able to survive in a state of hibernation. Now, this notion of survival is what allows an ordinary Joe to rush into a burning building, or a mother of 3 to lift a car off of one of her children. Now, this particular situation or phenomenon is known as hysterical strength, and many of us have heard a lot of stories of hysterical strength over the years. The first documented report of hysterical strength was in 1982, when the jack under Tony Cavallo's 64 Impala slipped, and his 50-year-old mother, Angela, lifted and supported the 3,500-pound car long enough for the neighbors to drag him out from under. People, I'm telling you right now, I am injecting faith into you right now that you understand there are things that man can do beyond science. As you can see, his mother Angela lifted the 3,500-pound car off of him to save his life. That, once again, is a testament to the human will to survive. This place of hope and the miraculous that works in the human being when he has hope to survive, hope to make it through the situations that he's going through. Let's take a look further as we see another incident of this hysterical strength. More recently, 22-year-old Lauren Kornacki lifted a BMW off of her father when, again, the jack slipped and pinned him beneath the car. As an added note here, she didn't just lift the car, but she dragged him out with one hand, which means one hand was lifting up the car and the other hand drug her father out. Now, once again, when we take a look at this human will to survive, and I know I'm a little hyped up today because this is a testament to anyone listening here tonight that you have hope to make it. You have hope, and the miraculous will work in your life, the human will to survive. But when we begin to look at this human will to survive, it's imperative that we not leave out our Jewish brothers and sisters who went through the horrific atrocities of Nazi Germany. The fact of the matter is, of the 9 million Jews who had resided in Europe before the Holocaust, approximately 2/3 were killed. Yes, that's right, 2/3 of the people were killed. Imagine, if you will, that we being in the United States and 2/3 of the people here being killed. That's horrible on any level. But as we take a look at this further, over 1 million Jewish children were killed in the Holocaust, as were approximately 2 million Jewish women and 3 million Jewish men. A basic dissection of their family dynamic. As we take a look further here of the atrocities in Nazi Germany, a network of over 40,000 facilities in Germany and German-occupied territory were used to concentrate, hold, and kill Jews and other victims. Yes, that's right. As we know, that there were Romani also involved in atrocities. Now, it also goes on to say here that the persecution and genocide were carried out in stages. Various laws to exclude the Jews from civil society, and most prominently the Nuremberg laws of 1935, were enacted in Germany before the outbreak of World War II in Europe. Concentration camps were established in which inmates were subjected to slave labor until they died of exhaustion or disease. I'm painting a picture for you here today because I want you to know these things in the past have a direct relationship to our current situation and anything we go through in the future. Let's go forward. The occupiers, those wicked men of Nazi Germany, required Jews and Romani to be confined in overcrowded ghettos before being transported by freight train to extermination camps where, if they survived the journey, most were systematically killed in gas chambers. But the thing about this situation, this horrific story of Nazi Germany, it doesn't end there. And it actually goes a step further, as we've seen that they survived, and nevertheless, they survived to claim statehood in May of 1948. This is important because, as I said, if one man can survive, another man can survive. What one man can do, another man can do. Let's go take a step further. The concept of the will to live can be seen as directly impacted by hope. Many who overcome near-death experiences with no explanation have described concepts such as the will to live as a direct component of their survival. The fact of the matter is, this hope and this survival, these past situations are in direct relationship to us. They actually set, in my mind, they set a precedent for the human will to survive. That's right. If they can make it, then we can make it. If they can go through horrific and atrocities, the situations that they went through of life that should have killed them, that should have taken them under, then we too can make it. You can make it. I can make it. We all can make it through bad situations. And I come to here to tell you today that you're going to make it. Everything is going to be all right. So all I can tell you today is to dry your eyes, dance in your living room, laugh when you should be crying, because you're going to make it. You're going to make it through the situation, this bad time that you may be going through. It doesn't stop here, because your life is worth more than you think it's worth. It's not going to stop here. You're going to make it. I envision in myself right now those who are in Afghanistan and bombs bursting on every side, but you made it. It doesn't have to end here. The actual hope that you have within you is essential for your survival. So remember that you can make it. And you're mourning. Everything you're going through now, you're going through hell and back, but you're going to make it. And everything that I've said now is essential for your survival. If they can make it, you can make it. And your mourning shall be turned into dancing. This is Keith Pitts for Independence Nation. Keep moving forward. You're going to make it. And I'll see you next time.